Alright, it seems like it's okay to be young, dumb, and black. Whenever I have a conversation with, a older black person, whether it's female or male, we always talk about, um, you know, the issues that they had in the past, my issues and their issues, and, how they were wilding out, or how they were living this lifestyle, and X, Y, and Z, and how they've changed. And I'm all for that. I don't really get on people in terms of their past mistakes. If they make more than I have, that's not really the point. The point is, have you moved on, and have you understood what you did was wrong, and therefore, you won't repeat that same mistake or let anybody else that you can come in contact with make the same mistakes you did. But I don't really get that. I talk, and I'll admit I talk to more women than men. But, I always get this 28-year-old chick who talks about how she was wild out in the past. And she doesn't own it. And all she says, oh, but, I was young, dumb, and stupid. Um, and it's not even necessarily because, mom and dad weren't there, or society, or the neighborhood she grew up with. Like, I can understand, those being reasons for someone to make mistakes as a youth. But for, a certain amount of people, this is not the case. It's not because of society. It's not because they didn't know better, right? It wasn't because they didn't know any better. It's because they truly believe that it's okay to be young, dumb, and stupid, right? You can tell a lot about a chick if you happen to meet an older chick and you sit down and you have a conversation about their past. Um, you can tell if there's somebody you should stick around with based on how they own their past. You'll have a lot that says, oh, I have nothing to feel sorry for. I was young, dumb, and stupid. Pretty much condoning certain behaviors simply because of age, simply because of youth. I don't agree with that, right? It's not something that, not just white America, but the world doesn't necessarily embrace its youth being young, dumb, and stupid. And in all the groups in this world, we would think that African Americans would be the farthest away from this concept, but it's embraced. So it's okay. And what comes to my mind off the jump is that, so is it going to be okay for your daughter to do the same mistakes simply because she's young, dumb, she's young and dumb, so it's a pass? I never get it. Right? It's one thing to have dirt simply because, you just made some choices because you didn't really have all the factors there. I understand that, but we act like it's just okay. Yeah, you can fuck up because you're young. It's okay, you're young. Yeah, you're supposed to mess up. But everybody seems to understand that when you know better, you're supposed to do better. Like, this concept is so hard for African Americans, right? And honestly, I'm beginning to believe that most of us know better. We just choose not to. There is a segment out there who doesn't know, that don't know any better for a lot of reasons. You can say parenting, you can say community. Yes, 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 I agree with you. But there is also a strong population who understand what is right and what is wrong. But them following it is conditional on their age, and it really is a turnoff, and it's annoying. It really is. When I meet an older chick, or um, whether it be through school or somewhere else, when we have these conversations, it's a turnoff, right? I've even met chicks, who are quote unquote God fearing, still with the same, backwards thinking logic, right? Oh, I'm not going to feel guilty for what I did in the past. And that's what they'll always say. You know what? I'm not ashamed for what I did in the past. Or I'm not guilty for what I did in the past, even though it was wrong, right? I meet more people who didn't, quite frankly, had the excuse to not to do well. Mom wasn't there. Family didn't have much money. Crime was all around them. Take more ownership for their past actions than I do with people who knew better. And if they could do it all again, they would have been a whole lot more serious, right? They don't want to feel sorry for themselves. They, in their own mind, feel like they should have been stronger. But you get this whole host of older black men and women who feel like it's just okay. Especially for the dudes. Oh, it's okay to wall out, be young, dumb, and then they have a kid, they get a disease, or, they get a criminal record, and their whole life's fucked up. I have a friend who got a DUI, and this is one of my college boys, has a DUI. He of course he knows way better not to even put himself in that situation, because he's trying to get his career together. But who knows what's going to happen now when he has to disclose the fact that he has a DUI, right? He can't just lie about it, especially when they do his background check. So now he has to disclose the fact that he has a DUI on every interview that he goes to. How embarrassing is that? Is it because he had a lack of guidance? Hell no. It's because he bought into this assumption that, it's okay to be young and wild out, especially if you're a black male. And we can say, what's the big deal? I know I'm going to get people who come on and say, oh, you're hating, you're self-hating, this, and that. But look at the rest of the world. Just don't look at white America. Is that a trend that other people are doing? Is that a trend that is promoted in their own community, that, it's youth, meaning that it's anywhere from, it's 18 to 23-year-olds, that age range, that it's just okay for them to do whatever they want to do because they are young. And they're supposed to negate all the information that they know that leads them to make better choices. Right? You tell me. I mean, it's incomprehensible how black America complains, right? Its individuals complain when their life's not where they need it to be when they get around the 28, 30-year-old range, right? How life really comes in and kicks them in the ass, and they start bitching and complaining, and the first thing they want to bring up is society. They want to bring up racism, oppression, Uncle Tom black men, professional black women as the reasons why, the community is not doing well, or they're not doing well, but they don't want to look back to see what they were doing when they were younger. You cannot get to Z without starting at A. It takes a while to progress to where you want it to be. So anyways, I went too long on this video. Tell me how you feel. I just think it's bullshit. What's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. It's not dependent on age. What's important is, did you have the tools or the resources to help you understand? If you didn't, yes, you know what, I'll give you some slack. But if you know you did, and you readily admit that you did, but you still did so because of age, there's something wrong about that.